All right, good day. Hope everybody's having a good one. If this is your first time to the channel, what we do around here is we follow people's suggestions. We find new music from all over the world, making connections from music today, from music from yesteryear. Um, Finding out that, the inspirations for the stuff that we have today, its connections go way further back than we ever would have thought. And metal has a way deeper connection. Now, a lot of people, when they think, metal or whatever, they think, well, the beginning of metal was like Black Sabbath and all that. But see, that's, if that heavy metal, that style and everything, of course, right on. That started a whole new genre of music. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. I mean, these are all uh, pillars that really, you know, elevated the genre. But studying flamenco, one thing that you notice is there is an awful lot of borrowing being done. That there are, um, chord progressions and stuff that were laid out way before metal was even a thing, and they were doing their thing way, and when you see this, you can see the direct connection between flamenco and metal. Now, this does you one even better. Now, sadly, this is all I can show you of this because it's blocked and all that, and they'll banish me to the depths of YouTube hells and all that stuff. But I will have you linked up to all that so you can watch this on your own. You can probably tell, aside from the fact that they got acoustics in their hands, it looks pretty, metal. I mean, they were in a rock quarry, so it's about as rocking as it gets, right? So, but I assure you, this is every bit of showing you the connection of flamenco and metal, and how much that, if you are an aspiring guitarist, flamenco is a genre that you need under your belt. There are great guitarists that legends, and in places that you wouldn't even realize that studied flamenco, like say the Doors. There's a lot of stuff that he does that now that I understand that he was a student of flamenco, a lot of the stuff that he does on guitar, it makes a lot more sense now. And the rolls and progressions, it's like I get where he, got the idea for that, and why this sounds so original from anything else going on at the time. There was no other guitarist really that sounded like or played like, probably like Jeff Beck played like him, but they sounded different. They were two different guitarists, but Beck played with his fingers, and it gives you a lot more play on, how you pluck chords, what, you can, pluck two different chords that are, chords apart from each other at the same time, rather than, when you're playing with a pick, it's a lot harder to do those things. But this right here, this video, if you don't be like, all right, yeah, I need to go study me some flamenco after seeing this, then maybe you're not trying to learn the guitar that much. And I would also encourage you within the flamenco genre to check out the Balerias and stuff, because they are a really good example of a certain kind of timing. There's nothing like what that is over here. We have nothing to compare to it, but at the same time, it will teach you to look at the guitar in a different way, squeezing notes into a certain amount of time and timings. The the unconventional timing that is Baleria in comparison to everything else that we hear on a regular basis, and the things that it's allowed to do and what it does. And there's pieces of it that we could say, well, we have like, some of that, like we have in, jazz or blues, but it's like, but we have no singular thing that can be like one to one. Yeah, this is our version of that. We don't know. And there's a lot of stuff that comes out of there that we don't have a version of. Now, remember, give them a little bit of credit. This genre of music is older than the country I'm sitting in. So, they got a head start on some awesome. But the thing is Spain has really preserved it. And also, while preserving things and really holding on to the traditional, way that they have been, they've also found ways to innovate and push that same thing forward while maintaining its history. Now, here in America, we seem to just keep moving forward and breaking down all the old stuff. We'll do some covers and stuff, but it's like, our music, like, that's good. Everything progresses forward. You don't want everything to, be the same, but it's like very rarely do you have something that harkens back to something that's way old. And in that, in any genre that we have, and probably the oldest that, you can find things that even, or that may even connect with things overseas are things like the blues and stuff like that. But in an entirely different way. But still very much maintain a connection, and you see the similarities. But I'll tell you what though, whatever you see over here, if there's a Spain version of that, it's kicked up about 20 notches easily, if not right straight 100. And they have a great way of just, souping everything up, and a great way of hooking you in. And like I said, also a great way of, being a musical and an artistic time capsule that, has held for years on to the things that have gone, the music that has gone through it, traditional Sephardic folk, all these different kinds of musics that have been through this country, and it's held on to them so other generations can experience what that was like hundreds of years ago before there was YouTubes and all that stuff. So we really owe a lot to Spain and the people within it making music and maintaining the tradition of a lot of these musics. I mean, you look, there's places like, Italy would be comparable as far as like, these are places that, they preserve, architecture and everything. They're still using, in Spain, they're still using things that were built for concerts that were built before this was a thing. So, yeah, and they're still performing in them today. So if that doesn't, spell it out enough, then, maybe perhaps checking this out. I wish I could show this to you. I really want to, but I also want you to go watch it and get the connection. This is like really as close as you get to being on acoustic and being like, yeah, that's metal. Yeah. And I don't care how many acoustics they're holding, or this is some metal stuff, and you will see why. So yeah, we have all sorts of cool discussions like that around here, and where things came from and how things are getting and I really think that we have a whole generation and a whole region of people that they're not seeing this. This is not coming up in their feed. I'm here. I've done the recon. I've seen it. I know. They're not getting it unless they are from there and they're over here, they're not looking for it because they don't know about it. So that's why it takes people, from outside, or from over here to reach over, grab it, and stick it in somebody's face and rub it, maybe that was a little too graphic, but you understand what I'm saying. I mean, it really takes, people, and I'm so grateful for all the people that have been pointing all the different directions. I mean, it gets overwhelming. I'm going to admit, it does get overwhelming a little bit. And, I got to try to, separate and also stay on the path. But it's just, this is an example of, where you can really make the connection and get some inspiration. So I implore you, if you or anybody is learning the guitar, or thinking about learning the guitar, or has been learning the guitar, please introduce them to this music. They will be forever in your debt, and they will look at the guitar and music even in a whole different way. And if you start, the sooner the better, because I wish I would have known about this when I was learning to play guitar, because it's like kind of, teaching an old dog new tricks. It's like, can be done, and with a lot of, practice, but it's like, I just got a lot of catching up to do. And I got a lot of unlearning to relearn, and, there's different, but it's just, trust me, go. Hope everybody out there is having a good day. Hope it's going as good as it possibly can be. We got tons more news, reviews, reacts, discussions like this, and more. I got a lot of playlists, a lot of bands, and a lot of cool stuff from all over the musical spectrums here on the channel. So no matter what you're into, there's probably a little something of that here on the channel, and probably something of that thing that you've never even heard of, or from a region that you've never heard of, or in a way that you never heard it. So yeah, definitely going to be things you never heard, guaranteed. I'll bet you money. So yeah, other than that, do all the YouTube things, like comment a band, or an artist or somebody that we should be checking out and sharing with the rest of the class, and maybe some other artists that I'm trying to bridge the connection a little bit to show people, that this genre that's been around, since before this was a country over here, has really, without even knowing it, influenced the genre, and the genre perhaps didn't even realize it was getting influenced by this thing. So yeah, I think that's really neat and magical and just all around awesome. And you'll see what I mean when you see this. So go check this out. I'll have you all linked up in the places below, and all the other places you should go to check this out and find more stuff about flamenco and Spain and all the places you should be looking at. Good luck. Hope to see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and do all the YouTube things. And perhaps we will see you in the next one. Have a great day out there, everybody.